Ever wondered why it's crucial to know first aid, especially when it comes to drowning victims? Well, the answer is simple. Every second counts when someone's life hangs in the balance, and the knowledge of first aid can make the difference between life and death. The first step in first aid for a drowning victim is to ensure the safety of both the victim and the rescuer. Look around, assess the situation, and make sure it's safe to approach. If it's not, call for help immediately. Next, check for responsiveness. Tap the victim's shoulder and ask loudly, "Are you okay?" If there's no response, yell for help and activate the emergency response system if needed. Now, let's move on to the steps of CPR, or cardiopulmonary resuscitation. It's a life-saving technique that can maintain the flow of oxygenated blood to the brain when the heart stops beating. First, kneel beside the victim. Place the heel of one hand in the center of the victim's chest and the other hand on top. With straight arms, press down hard and fast, at a rate of around 100 to 120 compressions per minute. Secondly, after 30 compressions, give 2 rescue breaths. Tilt the victim's head back slightly to lift the chin, pinch the nose shut, and make a complete seal over the person's mouth with yours. Blow in until you see the chest rise. Remember, it's 30 compressions, and then 2 breaths. Repeat this cycle until help arrives, or the person starts to breathe or move. But what if you're not comfortable with mouth-to-mouth breathing? In that case, hands-only CPR can be just as effective. Simply continue the chest compressions without giving breaths. When performing CPR on a drowning victim, there are a few key points to remember. First, always ensure your safety before you begin. If the scene is unsafe, you might end up with 2 victims instead of 1. Second, always check for responsiveness and breathing. If the person isn't breathing or is only gasping, start CPR. Next, remember the CPR steps. 30 chest compressions followed by 2 rescue breaths. If you're not comfortable giving breaths, do hands-only CPR. Finally, don't stop CPR until help arrives or the person starts to breathe or move. The knowledge of first aid, especially CPR, can be a lifesaver. It's a skill that everyone should have, not just lifeguards but everyone, because you never know when you might need to step in and make the difference in a life or death situation. So take the time to learn and practice CPR. It's a skill that's worth its weight in gold. In the end, it's all about being prepared and ready to act when someone's life is at stake.